Guys, we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that Fable trailer, man. As much as I'm looking forward to the Beast of Reincarnation, the Fable trailer really just, Fable trailer, I would say the Fable showcase really just kind of, I think, cemented to a lot of people that yeah, this is probably going to be the game that we were hoping that it was going to be. Instead of the catastrophe that a lot of people have been talking about this game possibly being. Like, it's, I think the big thing, of course, is the fact that a lot of people are already celebrating this, that you can actually create your own character. You're not stuck, playing as that girl that was showcased in the former trailers. You can actually create your own character. And that's cool and all. And, I love that they are actually doing everything they can to make the most ambitious Fable game yet. But I would say, and just looking at the environments, looking at the game itself, it looks really good in terms of like current gen or next gen graphics. But I gotta say, it almost looks a little bit, I gotta be a little skeptic here. Like, it looks almost a little bit too good to be true at parts. I really hope that they can, keep most of the things that they've showcased here so far. Because this looks like it could be incredible. Like, this could be an incredible Fable game. As somebody who's a fan of like Fable 1 and Fable 2, especially since, when I was younger, I played those games a ton. This, could very well be one of those, great RPGs. I mean, just look at this. They even have, like you guys mentioned in the comment section, they even have like hit stop. Thank God they have hit stop in a Fable game. I love the fact that you can't really shoot through metal with your crossbow. You have to like hit the skeleton at like a weak point. This kind of reminded me of The Witcher 3, like when you're playing as Geralt, of course. This looks like a Witcher fight. It actually looks that good. The thing is, again, this looks so good, and the things they've talked about here sounds like they're putting a lot of effort into like choice and consequence, like that giant guy, or the guy who manages to turn himself into a giant. You can essentially kill him, and he will, like, his corpse will be on the countryside, and it will affect house prices. And, some of this stuff shouldn't really be a surprise if you've played the Fable games before, because some of these features have been like owning property and just buying a bunch of houses and stuff like that. And your reputation, of course, has always been like a major thing with Fable games. But this looks way more than I honestly expected it to be. Like, I'm not blown away, but I am definitely positively surprised here. I do wonder a little bit about some of the facial animations here and there because of the NPCs, but that's just, it's just the world we live in right now, where when you have a lot of NPCs and you have a lot of characters, you can't just, well, you can mocap everything kind of like Larian did, but sometimes it's just too many NPCs. I don't know. At any rate, I think it looks ambitious as hell. I do wonder what the specs are going to be for your PC. Like, what type of PC will you have to have in order to run this game? Because I think even me with my 4090 RTX, I will probably be struggling a little bit, like with all the volumetric fog and everything going on, because that looks detailed as all hell. Look at the lighting here. And now, of course, this is like on a smaller screen, and here's the giant guy that you can kill, apparently. But like, look at the lighting. That is quite incredible, honestly. And I'm gonna, like, this made me into somebody who, this turned me from somebody who was quite a doubter to somebody who's actually looking forward to this now. Yeah, this looks cool. There's a ton of details here that I'm probably not going to get into here. Or I won't get into here because there's just way too many things to go over. Like the return of the main city from the previous Fable games and stuff like that. But, the focus on choice and consequence, I really wonder how far that is going to reach. Like, how... we know that you're going to be able to like create a family, and now you can like hire people. I don't remember if that was a feature in the previous games that you could hire people for your company, but wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Could be a Game of the Year contender. Could be. I don't know. I will see, of course. But again, like, the big thing I think is going to turn people around is, of course, the fact that you can actually create your own character. That is huge. That is huge in like an RPG like this, especially today. So thank God that they went with that, because Yeah, I definitely think this could have affected the sales and everything if they didn't do that. So yeah, this is looking good, guys. This is looking good. Yeah, combat does seem a little tad slow, but I don't remember it ever being fast, having played 2 and 3. Yeah, it's not like as much as there are some like visual similarities with like Witcher 3 and other games. Fable's gameplay has always been sort of not clumsy, but it's very methodical. You know, when you swing your weapon, you do it with intent and stuff like that. So it's more realistic. It's not realistic in terms of something like Kingdom Come Deliverance, because that is extremely like, oh, they've really put everything into fencing and things like that. But it's definitely way more weighty, and your swings, your weapon swings are way more intentional. And as I mentioned before, they've added hit stop, so that is huge. And you may be wondering, okay, why is that a big thing? Because it helps make the impacts come through when you're swinging your weapon, and there's a small frame of stopping whenever you hit an enemy. That's a hit stop, and that helps so much with a lot of games. And then depending on how much hit stop you use, it could like make the experience seem slower, or it could like disrupt the combat. But in this case, I think it's a really good thing. I hope Fable will put Bethesda's Elder Scrolls 6 on notice. It probably will. I mean, if the game actually looks this good and it's what we are now imagining it to be at release, yeah. I mean, yeah. But again, as somebody brings up here, Arlie Songburl, it really depends on the narrative and atmosphere. Fable was very old British humor style. If it's modern, it won't land the same that for Fable fans, I think. Yeah, you have a point, definitely. It's, they have to keep that kind of British humor, the type of dry wittiness that is just, very old school. It's hard to describe, but people who like British humor, you will definitely understand that point. But it's also, again, like the atmosphere, of course, being a hero, but you can also be a villain. You can choose your own path, and what you do, very much affects how the world views you and how people view you. It's always been a thing with Fable. So, I mean, overall looks really good, even though I have never played any Fable games before. You should definitely play the first one. The first Fable game is one of my favorite RPGs. It was also one of my first RPGs that I ever played. So again, like if it weren't for Fable 1, I don't know if I would have been an RPG fan, but probably not as big as an RPG fan that I am today. Also, again, it's on Xbox, PC, PlayStation. It's all platforms essentially, except for Nintendo Switch, of course. But Nintendo left out hanging here. But yeah, this looks good. This looks good. I'm happy. I'm happy. Playground Games, you did good. I hope you guys can deliver, because this just shot up there to my top expectations. I really hope, or most anticipated games now. I really hope they can pull this off, and that they because this really set that image that this game could be huge, absolutely huge. Showcase looks really great. We'll see how the performance looks and shows up in the game with our different machines. Absolutely. And I hope that it runs well when it releases, because again, damn, that volumetric fog, everything that's going on, the lighting, whoa, whew, Jesus.